The next song on our TTPD song meaning checklist is Who's Afraid of Little Old Me? This song is just something else, so I'm really excited to talk about it. Let's just get right into it. The who's who of who's that is poised for the attack, but my bare hands paved their path. You don't get to tell me about sad. Now, the who's who is basically a list of like prominent, like famous, like the it people. So when she's saying the who's who of who's that, she's kind of making fun of these people. It's an insult. Someone in a list of prominently unknown people. So basically she's saying these nobodies are getting ready to attack her, to come after her. Even though she paved their path with her bare hands, her hard work, her blood, sweat, and tears. Now, this could of course be in reference to, for example, Scooter Braun. Like in Karma, she says, my pennies made your crown. Her work laid out his success. But I've also seen a lot of theories that this could be referring to Olivia Rodrigo or artists like Olivia Rodrigo. Basically saying that these artists use Taylor as inspiration for their own work in order to try to get to where they are. When she says, you don't get to tell me about sad, she's basically saying, I've been through it all and you can't tell me or try to explain to me what it means to be sad because I've had it worse. For me personally, I think that this song is kind of about a lot of things and not just one. I do think there's a bit about Scooter Braun. I think there's stuff about her fans. And yes, I also think there are mentions to Olivia Rodrigo. And we'll get more into that in a bit. If you wanted me dead, you should have just said, nothing makes me feel more alive. So here Taylor is challenging these people, basically saying like, tell it to my face, or if you have something to say, just say it. When she says nothing makes her feel more alive, she's basically making this contrast that even though she's going through struggles, she feels empowered through it. She likes the challenge. She's like, just tell me and I'm gonna rise above it. She gets very hyped and goes in headfirst. So I leap from the gallows and levitate down your street, crash the party like a record scratch as I scream. Who's afraid of little old me? You should be. These lyrics are in just such typical Taylor fashion, painting a really good picture of what's happening. And it's like obviously a metaphor, but you can visualize it in your head, which is what's beautiful. Her leaping from the gallows shows a dramatic escape or defiance towards death or towards a death sentence. So again, kind of a similar theme that we had in Look What You Made Me Do about never being able to put to rest, like always rising above it all. Now, a record scratch is kind of like a sudden jarring interruption. So what she's basically saying here is she's showing up at this party kind of unannounced. People are not expecting her, so seeing her is like a shock. She's causing chaos and disturbing everybody and just saying, who's afraid of little old me? Now, a lot of people think that this phrase is actually in reference to an Elizabeth Taylor movie, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, where she stars with Richard Burton. And in Ready For It, Taylor already makes a reference to them when she sings, within the context of the film, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf is used as a way to tease someone for being afraid of vulnerability, of getting real, of getting in touch with your emotions, and just being plain honest, because that's what Virginia Woolf's poetry was all about. And I think Taylor's take on it could be similar, because Taylor's lyrics are kind of the same as what we're saying about Virginia Woolf's poems, that they're just brutally honest and just coming clean and really vulnerable and putting herself in a position where she's just really showing her emotions in full color. To the point where people maybe become afraid of her honesty. The scandal was contained, the bullet had just grazed. At all costs, keep your good name. You don't get to tell me you feel bad. So here it's clear that Taylor is addressing some kind of like very specific event. Something that was very scandalous, but somehow contained from the public. The bullet just grazing means that it was able to hit, but the damage was not too large. And this other person is very keen on keeping their good name, keeping up their appearances, regardless of who takes the fall. In this case, it could be Taylor. This is sounding a little bit like the Kanye situation. And again, she challenges, you can't tell her about feeling bad because she's been through so much, she knows it all firsthand. Is it a wonder I broke? Let's hear one more joke. Then we could all just laugh until I cry. Now in that first line, a lot of people are saying that they hear her say, let's hear one more Joe and not joke, like kind of daring Joe to make another one. So people are drawing parallels like, is this what she's saying? Is she insinuating that in her relationship with Joe Alwyn, he made a lot of jokes that made her uncomfortable? And we also have a parallel here to You're on Your Own Kid. The jokes weren't funny. Essentially putting an emphasis on the way that people were turning on her and just making fun of her. So she's saying, go ahead, make another joke, and then we can all just laugh until I cry. Which plays on this idea of laughing so much that you cry. But in this case, they laugh, she cries. Then we get that first part of the chorus again with one additional line. I was changed came, I was gentle till the circus life made me mean. Don't you worry, folks, we took out all her teeth. Who's afraid of little old me? Well, you should be. So with these lyrics, Taylor really paints an image of this transformation that she went through from an innocent, soft person with like a kind, warm heart into a more fierce version. So she was tamed, she was being controlled, letting herself be silenced. But the circus life, and this is how she has previously described her famous life or her lifestyle growing up in the public eye, for example, in Mirrorball. And when she's saying, don't you worry, we took out all her teeth, basically she's saying that she was stripped of her power. She can't bite because she doesn't have teeth. She was silenced or controlled, unable to speak her mind or say her truth. But again, she emphasizes that you should be afraid of her. It's a threat. And then we reach the bridge. So tell me everything is not about me, but what if it is? Then tell me they didn't do it to hurt me, but what if they did? So these lyrics really show like a sense of paranoia, self-doubt, lack of trust, kind of looking behind your shoulder, second-guessing everything. Even when people try to reassure her, she has a nagging feeling like, what if this was about me? I want to snarl and show you just how disturbed this has made me. You wouldn't last an hour in the asylum where they raised me. So all you kids can sneak into my house with all the cobwebs. Here she's showing like a deep sense of frustration where she just wants to scream and get out all her emotions, probably from having been silenced for so long. She's saying she knows others wouldn't be able to handle all the things that she has gone through. Now comparing her upbringing to having brought up in an asylum. And the references about people sneaking into her house. The main theory is about Cornelia Street, which has now become kind of like a landmark for Swifties visiting New York, that they will like go to the Cornelia Street sign or go to the actual house that Taylor rented, get pictures there or try to look around, whatever. And honestly, I think that also kind of sucks for Taylor now in the sense that that relationship is over and this is probably going to permanently be some kind of landmark for her that she cannot escape. That's why she's talking about the cobwebs. Those things are all in the past. It's accumulating dust, but people are still going to be interested in it. Imagine writing a song about how you'd never walk Cornelia Street again if your relationship didn't work out, and then your relationship doesn't work out and everyone's still gonna be obsessed with Cornelia Street, so you can never escape it. I'm sure she understands why people are doing it, and I think people do it out of admiration for her. And I think she knows that, but at the same time, maybe it's something that's difficult for her to deal with. I'm always drunk on my own tears. Isn't that what they all say? That I'll sue you if you step on my lawn. That I'm fearsome and I'm wretched and I'm wrong. Put narcotics into all of my songs, and that's why you're still singing along. Here, Taylor starts off by making a reference to how the media is always portraying her as like playing the victim again and again. She's drunk on her own tears. Like, it's such a dramatic way of saying like, you can't escape your emotions. Then these rumors about her suing Olivia Rodrigo are coming up, like, oh, people say that if you step on my lawn, I'm gonna sue you. Like, to me, this is definitely a reference to that case and to that rumor. And then she does this whole list of insults that lead up to her saying that despite all of these things, people listen to my music, so therefore I must be drugging them because why else would they want to come back? Then we get the chorus again, but we do have a little bit of a difference on the outro. She sings, "'Cause you lured me, you hurt me, and you taught me." So she starts off by saying she feels like she was lured in, which means that something attracted her. There was some shining light, there was something that seemed very attractive, and she headed straight for it. But then she was giving a false sense of security and she wound up getting hurt, which led to personal development. She was taught about how to handle different situations in life. You caged me and then you called me crazy. I am what I am because you trained me. So who's afraid of me? So she's again saying like she was caged, silenced, controlled, and then you called her crazy even though it was them who put her into this box of how she could be. And obviously she's gonna lose her mind not being able to just be herself. And she finishes up by saying that basically she is the way she is because she was trained to be like this by the different things that have happened to her in her life. All the learnings, all the things, the ups and downs, getting lured in, getting hurt by people, learning a new lesson every time. And so that's my analysis of Who's Afraid of Little Old Me. I really love this song. I love all the different points that it touches. I love the way that she describes the situations. The metaphors to me are so vivid, like I can picture in my head. What do you guys think about my analysis? Did I miss anything? Do you disagree with anything? If you guys have other theories, I would love to discuss. And I'm still really sad Taylor didn't win any awards at the Grammys. Like, I'm really shocked, but I don't know. For me, this album was so monumental. I don't know how other people feel about it. But anyway, that's all for this video. I really look forward to hearing you guys' thoughts. And thanks for hanging out with me. And I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.